everybody, and today we're gonna learn about Freddy Fazbear. Freddy Fazbear is the main antagonist and eponymous character of Five Nights at Freddy's. He's an animatronic bear who is left in a free-roaming mode at night, during which he wanders around Freddy Fazbear's Pizza along with the other animatronics until 6 a.m. He forcefully stuffs any human he encounters after hours into a Freddy Fazbear suit, as do the other animatronics, resulting in said person's death. Freddy's an animatronic wearing a costume that gives him the appearance of a brown bear. On stage, he wears a black top hat and a bow tie while wielding a microphone in his right paw. His ears are articulated and are thus able to move back and forth. He has human handprints on his face, though they are difficult to locate. His irises are normally of a light blue color. He is commonly seen with his endoskeleton eyes on camera, rather than his normal costume eyes. Species: animatronic bear. Gender: male. Color: brown. Occupation: lead singer in the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria band. Starting location: show stage. First appearance: night 1, night 3. Only becomes dangerous during this night and onwards. Freddy starts the night on the show stage along with his bandmates Bonnie and Chica. Upon activation, he will follow a set path from the show stage to the office. The path is as follows: show stage to the dining area, to the restrooms, to the kitchen, to the East Hall corner, and then he goes into the office. Unlike the other animatronics, he will remain in dark areas of the room he is occupying, leaving only his eyes and parts of his face visible. This implies that Freddy is avoiding the cameras as much as possible, or as Phone Guy states, this may just be due to the fact that Freddy is more active in the dark. Freddy will not be visible if another animatronic is in the same room as him. Viewing Freddy on the security cameras will slow him on his path, even if he is not visible in the room due to Bonnie or Chica's presence. Freddy will play his jingle either when he is in the kitchen, where he is not visible as that room's camera is disabled, or in the office when the power is out and the player has no means of warding him off. For the first 2 nights of the week, Freddy is inactive and stays on stage looking at the camera intermittently. During those nights, he only becomes active if the player runs out of power. After the power goes out and the player spends some seconds in the dimly lit office, Freddy Fazbear's face will show up in the left doorway, illuminated and shimmering, accompanied by his music box jingle. After several seconds, the remaining lights of the office and Freddy's face will flicker and turn off, turning the room completely dark. Being instantly not visible, Freddy will approach the player to attack them, resulting in a game over. If the player plays dead, his attack may be delayed. Typically, doing this may keep Freddy playing his jingle a bit longer, and when the lights completely go out, he may delay his attack, giving the player a bit more time to hold out until 6 a.m. From night 3 onward, he becomes active while the player is on. Usually, when Freddy moves, a deep laugh is heard instead of the usual footsteps the animatronics usually create when moving. Freddy only moves when the monitor is down, so even if the player is not directly watching, he will not move while the cameras are being monitored. Freddy can only enter the office via the East Hall, with the exception of when the power has been fully drained, in which he'll only appear outdoors. Movements are very fast and often appear as though he is capable of teleporting, meaning that the player is constantly search for him to ensure that he is not right next to the office. The most efficient way to prevent Freddy from sneaking into the office is to frequently monitor the cameras in order to stall his movements. Freddy can be seen on Cam 4B. The player should always close the door while looking at the monitor, unless the player is viewing said camera as shown by this video. Oh, never mind. The reason for this being that otherwise Freddy may move inside the player's room. Freddy may sometimes move inside the office if the player looks away from Cam 4B to monitor another camera while he is there. Since Freddy does not appear in the blind spot, his position in the East Hall corner indicates he's just one step away from entering the office and ending the game. Here's Freddy's tune, which is Toasty Pooks, or whatever you say, also referred to as Torreader March. Oh gosh. Oh. The music that Freddy plays is made by an addition of gorgeous bizets, voce tosti pux vios lerenge, from the opera Carmen. The song can be found. An in-game version can be found above. Freddy's tune can be heard in Night 4's phone call, implying Freddy could have been involved in the death of Phone Guy. Technically, Freddy does have the ability to run, as the sounds heard and he moves while running footsteps, though he's never seen doing so. In the first game, Freddy's the only animatronic to approach and enter the office from both sides. When the player runs out of power, he goes from the left side, and when the player doesn't run out of power, he goes from the right side. In Freddy's second jump scare, his regular white and blue eyes can be seen for a split second before switching over the black endoskeleton eyes that last for the duration of the jump scare. Freddy is always the last of the animatronics to move from the show stage after Chica and Bonnie. This includes during the custom night if Freddy's AI level is set to 20 while the others are much lower. This is possibly why there are no in-game files of any animatronics on the show stage without Freddy actively present, or vice versa. Freddy was originally intended to be stationary and only move when the player lost power during the night, akin to his behavior on the first 2 nights. However, Scott Cawthon, the game's creator, wanted to give the Tyler character more floor time, and in turn changed the AI programming to its current iteration of stalking the player from night 3 onwards. Freddy has a counterpart named Golden Freddy. It is unknown if is another costume resembling him, an older version of his costume, or simply a ghost. It is currently believed that most of Golden Freddy is the result of Mike Skinner having paranoid hallucinations. Freddy appears with bloodshot human eyes in the hallucinations, whereas Bonnie appears with either its endoskeleton or absent eyes. The name Fazbear could be a reference to Fazbear, who in turn is named after Fazakaz, the man who created the animatronic mechanism and allowed Fozzie to wiggle his ears. You should watch the Hidden Message in Finest Phrase 2 song, Those Fozzie Memories. It's one of my favorites. Freddy seems to be a mix between the 1977 version of Chuck E. Cheese from Chuck E. Cheese's Sins, both are vocal leaders wearing a hat and bow tie, and Billy Bob from Showbiz Pizza Palace, as both he and Freddy are bears and prominent members of the band. Freddy also bears a surprising resemblance to one of the Country Bears animatronics, Henry. The laugh that is heard while Freddy moves is actually an audio clip of a girl giggling, only slowed down. A possible explanation for Freddy's lack of movement on the first 2 nights may be that he is studying the player's strategies to adapt accordingly. Phone states that Freddy becomes more active while in the dark. This might explain why he is the only animatronic that comes after the power goes out and hides in the darker areas of each room, as opposed to Bonnie and Chica, who usually stand in brighter areas. Unlike the other animatronics, Freddy's eyes may only be seen when either the power goes out, when he is in these tall, or when all animatronics are on stage. In the second game, when Freddy's face is shown in a close-up view of Party and Freddy, one of his eyes can be seen normally, and the other one is endoskeleton dark eyes. It is possible that Freddy's eyes only change depending on the lighting he is in. This is true. Freddy's eyes in the they're not saying he's in the main hallway in the second game. And I think there's actually some kind of mistake, because in Party and Freddy and Parts and Service, he has missing eyes. But when he hovers and he's in other places, like in the hall, in the main hall, in the hall or in the office when he's hovering, he seems to have both of his eyes. So I don't know if it's that or what, but certainly it's something like that. Freddy can be seen holding his microphone when on the show stage, and both in the dining area and he's tall barely. This makes him the only animatronic to hold a stage item and not presently on stage. If Freddy attacks the player after they put the monitor down, the light door button disappears a split second before he fills up the screen. Freddy's the only animatronic to have only one position in each camera feed, except for occasionally looking to the camera on the show stage and slightly changing his position on the show stage as the other animatronics leave. Apart from the show stage and the kitchen, Freddy's position on camera corresponds to how far he is from the player. Closer to the office he is, closer to the camera's face, and more space can be seen. While on most cameras only Freddy's eyes glow, he somehow illuminates his entire face during the power outage, and even though his power outage jump scare happens in complete darkness, Freddy himself is somehow fully well lit. In the later 2 cases, even his normal eyes are clearly visible. Clicking Freddy's nose on the celebrate poster will cause it to squeak. In Freddy's distorted poster, he's shown tearing his own head off. One of his hands is in the same position as the handprints on his chin. It's true that the bodies of the children from the missing children incident were stuffed into the animatronics, and it's possible that the handprints are not from someone pushing Freddy away, but instead resulting from someone moving the dead in order to fit a body inside. This is supported by one of the death minigames in the second game, Give Gifts, Give Life, in which adult children is stuffed inside of Freddy. In Freddy's first jump scare, the screen does not shake. However, in the second jump scare, the screen does shake. This may be due to the fact that Freddy Fazbear pops up from the bottom of the first one and screams darker in place in the second one. It may also be because the space around Freddy in his first jump scare is pitch black, therefore unknowing the shaky effect that is root cause. Okay, thanks for watching, and plus all this information is from the Finest Freddy's Wiki under characters Freddy Fazbear, so you could read all that if you want. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please, yeah, I don't know why the screen is black, but I just did that because I didn't have anything else to do.